What's up, everybody? It's your girl Megan, Show Up Fitness Instructor. Today, I'm going to help you guys pass the NASM CPT. If you haven't heard already, we just launched our new roadmap to pass in 7 days. That's right, in little as 1 week, you become a certified personal trainer. And the best thing is when you use our resources to pass this test in 1 week, you'll still have access 3 weeks free to our own SUF-CPT course, best CPT out there. We're going to learn anatomy, how to program, business, sales, everything that takes to make this a long-lasting and successful career. Today, I'm going to go over one of the days that you guys are going to see on that roadmap to pass. So we have the OPT model and its acute variables. So if you guys can see here, it might be too far, but I'm going to go over all of these. We have the OPT model. There's 5 phases and 3 levels. So those 5 phases are going to be phase 1, stabilization, phase 2, strength endurance, phase 3, muscular development, used to be called hypertrophy in the past, phase 4, maximal strength, and phase 5, power. So for the test purposes wise, you guys should know these levels, and you should also know why a client may be in this level, and then some of its acute variables. You're not going to see all of it, but you'll definitely see some questions on this, so it's good to know. And also what not to know, I'll let you guys know as well, so you're not overstudying. So if we look here, phase 1, stabilization, it's going to be stabilization endurance. We have the tempo. So tempo is going to be the speed at which you're performing the exercise. And didn't mention it, but all this is in regards to resistance training, which is what they're going to be looking for here. So resistance training, strength training, when we're doing that exercise, what is the tempo? So for phase 1, stabilization, it's going to be 4-2-1-1. And so what those numbers mean when you break it down, 4 seconds eccentrically. If I'm doing a squat, going down, 2-second pause, isometric at the bottom. When I come up, that's 1 second concentric, and then another 1 second. They just wanted to add for another isometric pause before you go down into it. So regardless of what tempo you guys see, it's always going to be in that order. Eccentric, isometric, concentric, isometric. So once again, phase 1 stabilization is going to be a 4-2-1-1 tempo, which is going to be a slow tempo. After that, we're going to have sets. So sets here, 1 to 3 sets. How many times are you performing that circuit there? Next one we have is reps. So you're going to have 12 to 20 for stabilization, doing 12 to 20 reps each time. And then rest, we have 0 to 90 seconds. And then the last one I believe we have is intensity. So the load that we have is going to be 50 to 70%. So these are phase 1 stabilization. It's acute variables. Now, this is to help you pass NASM or any other textbook CPT out there. But studies have shown, Eric Cressy and other numerous fitness professionals in the industry that know what they're talking about, that when it comes to instability surface training, it's going to be inferior to our normal training that we have. Meaning that if I were to do a squat over there, and then I were to do that squat on an unstable surface, I could decrease as much as 70%. And so that's why we question a lot of the things when it comes to this stabilization phase. Yes, stability training can be effective, especially when you're looking at the rehab process. So for me right now, going through an ACL injury and trying to recover, someone going through an ankle sprain, all that stuff, those injuries, stability training has a purpose. But when we're looking at strength training, once again, it's going to be inferior to your normal training there. That's just for you guys to know. But once again, for the test, know these variables. So then phase 2, strength endurance, I have a star or an asterisk over there. That's because in this phase, we have supersets. So supersets, 2 exercises here that are doing back to back. That's going to be working the same muscle group. And so for this one, we have technically 2 tempos. I wrote it on the board. Honestly, I wouldn't even recommend trying to memorize it because it's too many that are going on in this. But you're going to have a strength focus exercise followed by a stability focus exercise. So that strength focus exercise tempo is going to be 2-0-2-0. And the stability one, like we just said in phase 1 stabilization, is going to be 4-2-1-1. So you have a moderate tempo followed by a slow tempo. Once again, this is what it is. I don't recommend actually learning it because the big importance for phase 2 strength endurance is going to be that supersets and what you're doing. So strength and stability, we're looking at bench press into a push-up or a squat into a single leg squat there. Maybe you see, maybe you don't, the other acute variables. So sets wise, we're looking at 2 to 4 here. Reps, we're looking at 8 to 12. And then when we're looking at rest, we're going to have 0 to 60 seconds. And then when we look at intensity, once again, there are 2 because of that superset. So the strength one is going to be that 75 to 85%, and that stability one is going to be 50 to 70%. Once again, phase 2 strength endurance, really just try and remember the supersets, strength to stability there.